Good, boss of YouTube, 6ftHax here. Have for you guys today a pretty intense roulette battle I had against Argon. I actually uploaded a previous roulette battle against Argon as well, and you guys really seem to have enjoyed that, so I decided why not to do another one. Of course, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below and let me know what you guys think about these roulette battles. I know you guys definitely like them. If you would like to ever roulette battle me, then come check out my Discord and we can definitely get one going, because these aren't as serious as like regular Wi-Fi battles, which is why I really like them. So going into this game, funny enough, the first pick I made for him was a level 1 Argon, and lucky for me, he picked my Stealth Rocking Landers as my lead turn 1, and you're always supposed to lead with the very first Pokemon that you picked. Unfortunately though, he did not pick anything for me to deal with Snorlax, so if that's a curse, rest talk Snorlax, that thing can literally just sweep me late game, so I really have to be careful around that. So knowing that he most likely is just going to go straight for the Endeavor, I switch into what is probably the least useful team member that I have, which is my Mega Venusaur, which really sucks because I love Mega Venusaur. I definitely would love to use Mega Venusaur in a draft league sometime, but in this matchup, he's just really not going to be doing anything. I can't touch the Snorlax, I can't really do anything to anything else on his team, and this is probably just going to be sacked off later in the match to the Galvantula or probably the Terrakion. Actually, Terrakion, if I lose my Landers, can also be a problem, so I got to be careful with that. So here, I didn't expect him to go straight for the sticky webs. I actually thought that he was going to go ahead and knock me out, but I'm guessing he predicted me to switch out, and he makes a very, very good play by going for the webs as I bring in my Spadef bulky Magearna. This is actually an Uber set for Magearna, so it's not assault vested, it's max Spadef, max HP, and I'm able to chew the Thunder, which is really great because I'm able to get rid of his Galvantula, giving me a 6-5 lead in this matchup. Unfortunately, I don't have Stealth Rocks up yet, which means that Argon still has his Sturdy intact, which means he can easily bring it in and go for the Endeavor, but he actually ends up bringing in his Volbeat here, which I found to be a little bit odd. I thought that maybe he was going to try and Baton Pass. I know Baton Pass is banned, but he said he made this set before Baton Pass got banned initially, so I really wasn't upset that he wanted to go for that, as I actually go for the Heart Swap, giving him my -1 special attack if he wanted to try and pass that off to another one of his Mons, as he's actually going to make a very good play here, go for the Encore. Completely forgot that Volbeat can even learn Encore, because I don't remember the last time I ever faced a Volbeat in the first place. So he's gonna force me to go for the Heart Swap again, and now I'm at -1 special attack again, and I don't have the Volt Switch, so I can't go for that to try and get switch initiative if he does want to go for the Baton Pass. So I'm gonna hard switch directly into my Landers, hoping that maybe he would try to go for like a setup move or maybe try to go for an offensive move, but he does make the correct play and going for the Baton Pass. Thankfully though, I did get the Intimidate off, which means he's forced to Baton Pass the -1 attack. So if he did want to try and bring in Terrakion or Snorlax, they will be at -1 attack, but he does make the good Baton Pass into the Argon, expecting him to just want to go for the Endeavor once more. I'm going to switch directly into my Mega Venusaur, knowing that it is going to be able to live the Endeavor, and in return I can maybe go for an HP Fire or maybe go for a Sludge Bomb or a Giga Drain, and ultimately I go for the Synthesis on the off chance that he did want to try and switch out, as he does bring in the Volbeat here. This is really nice because I can continue to have my Mega Venusaur to just kind of check that Argon unless I'm able to get on my Stealth Rocks, which I absolutely need rocks to be able to 100% handle the Argon. For right now, my best way to deal with it is my Mega Venusaur. So he is going to actually go for the Encore. I did expect him to do that, as I do switch directly into my Landers. Once more, he's going to be forced to Baton Pass the -1 attack, which is going to give me a chance to go straight for the Stealth Rocks, which is really nice, but he does Baton Pass directly into the Argon, which means I don't break it sturdy. So I'm going to be forced to switch back into my Venusaur, and the downside to this is that he could easily predict this and maybe pull a double switch, but at the same time, that wouldn't be too beneficial for him because he wants to try and get as much use out of this Argon as possible. So I definitely expected him to just go straight for the Endeavor and not want to go for a double switch, as I'm going to finally be able to break this thing sturdy by going for the Hidden Power Fire. Normally, I'm not sure if Berry Juice is released or not, but normally they do tend to carry Berry Juice. Thankfully though, he doesn't have the Berry Juice, and he actually has the Shell Bell, which means he's going to be outside of where he's in range of sturdy, so I can definitely knock him out this next turn with the Giga Drain, getting him back a whole 1 HP, which is really nice. So Venusaur still kind of put in a little bit of work being able to check a nice level 1 Argon, which was really funny, I thought. as in comes the Garchomp. Actually, believe it or not, the fact that it was shiny had me thinking this is probably Mega Garchomp, because I don't think I've ever seen regular shiny Garchomp in my life. Like, everybody just runs non-shiny regular Garchomp. So because he was shiny, I did kind of expect him to Mega Evolve here, and I decided just to go for the Giga Drain. Even if he didn't Mega Evolve and probably just for the rocks or to knock me out, then that still would have been fine, as I can now bring in my Clefable, which is really nice. This Clefable is actually a Calm Mind Clefable, but with him having Snorlax and it being able to easily 1v1 me, there's no way I'm going to be able to set this up unless I get rid of that Snorlax. And another downside is I don't have anything to bait in Snorlax either, outside of like maybe my Primarina, which I can maybe try and find a way to get a free switch into. As I go for the Moonblast, I really wanted to Flamethrower there, but on the off chance that he maybe had like the Poison Jab or the Iron Head, I thought Moonblasting was probably just my better play, as I'm going to be able to knock out this Volbeat, but without him going down without a fight, because he's able to paralyze my Clefable here, because this is going to be really annoying since I can get paralyzed later in the match. So even though I'm up 5-3, this Snorlax is still just a humongous problem, as I hard switch right into my Landorus. This is the best thing I have to kind of mitigate this just a little bit, and he does turn out to have the curse, and that is absolutely terrifying, because now this thing could easily just sweep through my team if he's got rest, because there's no reason for him to not just try and go for another curse here. But he actually ends up switching directly on now into his Garchomp, which has me thinking maybe he's not rest talk, so he was maybe scouting out to see if it had Toxic, which would make sense. Maybe I could have had the fighting move as well, so him switching out really wasn't too bad of a play, as I make a really bad play here. I did not expect him to go straight for the Outrage, but he called my bluff there, getting off a huge amount of damage on my Landorus, and in return I will be able to finish him off with the HP Ice, but my Landorus is really low, and if that is Banded Terrakion, it can easily just knock me out with the Stone Edge as he brings in the Terrakion. It actually turns out that he's on an Air Balloon, which is slightly annoying because that kind of makes it a little bit harder to deal with, because otherwise I would have been able to Intimidate drop him, and after like maybe -2 or -3, I could have lived a Banded Stone Edge and then knocked him out with the Earthquake. But now he's on an Air Balloon, which means I can't beat him 1v1 with my Landorus if I tried to play it around like that. So I switch into my Silvally expecting him to go for the Stone Edge, then I'm going to switch back into my Landorus here, thinking that he most likely is just going to go for the close combat, and because I am so badly Steel type, he's not going to try and set up in front of my face, because I can just go for the Iron Head or the Steel type multi-attack. As he does make the safe play and going for the close combat, I'm able to chip him down a bit, and here, hoping that he would over-predict and expect me to switch back into Silvally, I stay in, but he does make the aggressive play and just going straight for the Stone Edge, which was a nice play on his part, as I can now bring in my Primarina because he is not choice banded and he is at -1. I would definitely chill one hit, and if he does want to try and switch into the Snorlax, I can probably 2 KO him with the Hydro Pump, but I don't want to miss Hydro Pump, so I make the safe play in going for the Moonblast, which is easily going to be able to knock out the Terrakion. And at this point, his last Pokemon is the Snorlax, and I have nothing but special attackers on my team. So this is really not looking good for me, considering that Snorlax has an insane amount of Spadef bulk. As I go for the Moonblast, it looks like I'm able to 2 KO him, so if he goes for the curse here, I can maybe knock him out next turn, but he actually goes for the return and just destroys my Primarina. And now this is getting a little bit scary because I have 2 paralyzed Pokemon and my Silvally only has special attacking moves. So I bring in my Clefable, just hoping that maybe he doesn't have the rest, because he has not shown me his final moves. He could still very well have rest, because he's shown me return and curse so far, and then he can have rest and sleep talk. So I'm gonna go for the Moonblast here, as he is obviously able to chew that. This right now is his perfect chance to go for the rest if he does have it. So I thought about maybe going for the Calm Mind, but he actually ends up going straight for the return. I really don't think that crit mattered. I'm pretty sure that he still would have been able to 2 KO me unless he had got like absolute minimum damage on the second roll, but I probably would have got fully paralyzed, so he would have 2 KO'd me either way. As I bring in my Silvally, the hardest hitting move I have to hit the Snorlax with is Flash Cannon, which, I mean, I guess I can still get a crit at this point. Like, that could probably definitely save me. As I go for the Flash Cannon, it does not crit. I do get a Spadef drop though, but at this point it's probably a little too late, as he actually turns out to have the Earthquake, which means he most definitely doesn't have the rest. So it all comes down to whether or not my Magearna ends up getting fully paralyzed, because I can definitely chew one Adamant max attack Earthquake because I'm near to full HP and I have max HP investment. And Earthquake is not stabbed coming from Snorlax. So he's gonna go for the Earthquake here, just as I thought. I will be able to chew this, and if I get paralyzed, I lose. Thankfully though, I don't get fully paralyzed, and Magearna is gonna be able to knock out this Snorlax for the very narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. I'm not even lying to you guys when I thought Snorlax was going to just absolutely sweep through the last 4 team members on my team. If he had rest, he definitely would have won with Snorlax, but I'm pretty sure he didn't have it since he never went for it. And luckily Magearna is well trained and did not get paralyzed and was able to pull out the victory for us. So good game to Argon. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. Let me know if you would ever like to face me in a roulette battle, or if you guys would like to see more in general. Like I said, a lot of you guys really did enjoy the first one, so hoping that you guys are still kind of enjoying these, because I definitely do want to do these a lot more often. So with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.